I'm so sick of this. I want to know why we can't be like other kids and go out on Halloween. I mean, my poor little sister should be out trick-or-treating. But look at her. You've kept her from a normal childhood, and it's turned her into a wall ornament.
Well, I think it's obvious why Halloween is bad. I mean, that whole razor blade and the apple thing was an urban myth, of course. But then all that candy causes cavities and gum disease, and those masks everybody wears have these weird kind of toxic fumes inside that make your arms go limp, and...
It's totally too late for him.
Marnie, I'm sorry. I know that you want to go out with your friends, but there are just some things about Halloween that you don't understand.
Oh, right. Like there's some big, mysterious reason why we can't go out.
Welcome back to the Haddonhorror Podcast. We review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark.
I'm Elion.
I am Malik.
Malik is joining us because we're continuing our special horror Disney themed episodes, and today we are reviewing Elion's pick, Halloweentown.
The reason why I picked Halloweentown was actually because I think it was the actual first Halloween movie that I've ever watched on Disney. Never watched anything else prior to that, and I think the one reason why I chose Halloweentown as well was more of the fact that I think maybe growing up, I wanted to have like those magical powers. I wanted to be Marnie, like, you know, like I'm just like a regular kid, and I just wanted to wake up knowing like, you know what, I am special. And the movie made me feel special in a sense where I'm just like, oh shit, you know what? At the end, it doesn't even matter. I am special. I should not think about that. But it would have been amazing to have like fucking powers like Marnie did with her whole family being witches. I would have loved that when I was a kid.
Halloweentown. The first one that was released in 1999, directed by Dwayne Dunham, and screenplay by Paul Burnham, John Kutsky, and Ali Matheson. Before we hop in, I'll give you guys the plot summary. 13-year-old Marty Piper is whisked away on a spellbinding adventure to a secret town where magic is the norm and every day feels like Halloween. As she explores the enchanting world, she uncovers hidden wonders, meets extraordinary creatures, and discovers just how special she truly is. But when a shadow looms over the town, Marnie must embrace her destiny and a little bit of magic to help save the day. Now, we're around the same age, so we both remember the big Halloweentown Disney Channel movie original premiere. What are your memories of this movie?
I thought it was going to be really scary when it first came out. Um, but then I watched it. It was kind of like comedy. Um, I know my favorite part of it was the damn taxi driver, which was, I forgot his fucking name. Benny.
Oh, the skeleton, Benny the
Benny.
skeleton man.
Benny.
I
The skeleton. Yes.
love
Benny the
Benny.
skeleton was like, he was like my ultimate favorite. He was so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, for me, I also thought it was going to be scary because the trailer was kind of given spooky, but it was actually like a fun, chill movie. Everyone was good in it. The redhead, the redhead boy he was cute. I remember having a crush on him when I was a kid, but then again, redheaded
Luke.
white man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
When he was a human though, not when he was a mutant.
Okay, yes, the human version.
Definitely
Redheads.
the human version of him was super cute.
Redheads had me in a chokehold when I was in single
Yeah.
digits.
You ain't the only one, sis. Redheads still do it for me right now.
Hey,
But
same.
like it wasn't too scary, but it had like enough like scary elements, with Calabar and all of that going on. And, like but always the high school boyfriend that's evil. Like
My thoughts for this film is honestly just really good. Like, I actually want to go more in depth with one of the characters, a majority of the characters more specifically than I can do. But like, my feelings about the whole movie entirely is it just like I said with the previous one we did, it's just a nostalgia. Honestly, like I just loved it, and it just brought me back to when I was a kid watching this film. And like I know this came out in 1998, and I think I saw it when I was like 6 or 7 years old when Disney was showing it for like a Halloween special, and like, I loved it, but at the same time, I was a little scared by it, too. Especially with the skeletons, because I don't know why, I had a fear of skeletons. And funny enough, Spy Kids, I think it was Spy Kids 2. I think it was, like, when they were in, like, the island. That was the movie that actually helped me get over my fear of skeletons, especially with that whole army. But, back to this film. No, it's a really good movie. Like, how do I explain it? It's just like I had a wonderful time watching it. I had a wonderful time, going back to my childhood, and it still gives off like the fun aspect. Like, yeah, growing up, I see changes obviously with one, the acting, two, the storyline's a little different than I remember, and three, like obviously the special effects. But at the end, it's still a good movie. Like, I don't know. That's all I could say.
Well, let's talk about some standout moments in the movie. Um, I think for me, I always circle to the bus stop scene because it's so normal, but it's also like they literally take a bus that transports them to Halloweentown. But then it's also the scene where they first get to Halloweentown and you see the pumpkin in Times Square. It's just I don't know, it's just perfect and it's magical. And then plus the ending scene where they're all like doing magic together to stop Calabar. Honestly, everything that happens in Halloween Town, I love. Like the whole movie, just I can't pick anything in particular, but like the whole movie was just amazing. Were there any moments that stood out for you by any chance?
So one of the moments that stood out to me the most is when like the mom and the grandma and the mom they stayed into it the whole movie because it was basically like the mom trying to get the daughter to understand, girl, you from the hood, you from Halloween Town, you not a human. Just because you married a human does not mean you a human. You feel me? Like your kids might be half human, but you not a human. You still, you feel me? Like you from here. So, I like that conflict because for me personally, I feel like, the mom was just like, girl, you was from the hood and you want to be from the suburbs so bad. And that's not the life that I got for you. That's not the life
Right.
plan. You supposed to be here with me. And
The
she just
grandma
wanted
was
to be
really
a human
giving.
so bad.
The grandma was really like, "We not from the ghetto, bitch. Like, what is you doing? Like, we
That's
better than this."
but it was literally giving like, girl, we are not together. Like,
She was really giving not a white refrigerator.
no, for real, like stainless steel. That's exactly
Um,
what it was giving.
I think another moment for me was I don't know, when they were just kind of going around and meeting everybody, like meeting Benny. Like Benny, the Benny scenes were hilarious. They were funny. They were cute. Benny was hilarious. I needed to see more of
Hmm.
him. The black guy with the pointy ears, the angry one. I
I felt
enjoyed
like we didn't
him.
see enough of him. Like the trash man, you saw more of him in
Yes.
two, but you didn't see enough of him in one. He had a story
Yeah.
to tell. Not more about him in the second movie, but I feel like if you gave more in depth about who he was in the first movie, it would have stood out a little more. Maybe to like the African American crowd. Um, it
Yeah,
would
because
have stood out a little bit more.
we definitely
He was also a
definitely
very
had no
important
rep.
character.
He was. Uh, and also I don't know. I kind of even as a kid, I kind of clocked Calabar for being a bad guy. It was just so much.
Um,
It was just so much more obvious this time. It's always the smooth man from the past who always got something suspicious going on.
but
I don't know.
honestly,
I've
I
been
did
watching.
not expect it to be him. I didn't.
What?
Going into the movie, I did not expect it to be Calibar. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. I expected it to be like somebody else because when he came, he was all
No.
nice. He was the
That's
mayor and he
that's
seemed so
why.
sweet.
That's
No,
why.
I didn't see him like that.
It's always the politician or the ex-boyfriend or the high school
Yeah.
sweetheart or the nice guy. Like it's always them.
So why did
It's
you think it could
always
have
them.
been the grandma? It could have been a grandma. The
No,
grandma wanted to go home so bad,
I
and
never
she
thought it
wanted to
was
drag.
Granny.
She wanted to drag a little poor money with her.
I never thought it was Granny. I never once thought it was her. Only because even as a kid, I had already knew who she was.
That's probably why.
So I going in as a kid and especially now, like I know that that's Debbie Reynolds. Like I've seen most of Debbie Reynolds movies, even though
So
I'm
you don't believe that she had potential to be the bad guy because of the previous movie that she was in?
it just wouldn't make sense. Why would Granny be evil?
What do you mean? Grandmas are evil as fuck.
I didn't think that's what they were going for with this one. I just didn't see it in Grandma Agatha. Like I just didn't. I didn't see it. I never suspected.
Not okay. Not in this movie, but she was problematic as hell.
I mean,
Grandma was
yes.
problematic
She was.
because no,
Definitely was.
even though we're talking about one, skip to three real quick. You know, when they were in high school, um,
Honestly, honestly, it's actually,
Marty tried to tell her, you know, the principal is a bad guy, but she didn't believe it. She didn't care.
but I feel like that's grandma. That's her in all the movies though, because going to the fourth one, if we skip ahead a little bit more, like
The
she
which
didn't
one?
tell. No, that's
The which
that's
one?
um when it was about her being the queen or the princess. Like she didn't
Never
tell
seen it.
anybody.
Never
Yeah,
seen it.
she didn't tell anybody that she was the queen or the princess a couple thousand years ago. Like the grandma always had she kept things to herself. I didn't think that made her the evil person, but
She was an evil bitch. She
she
was an
wasn't
evil
telling the
bitch.
family maybe. But
She
she
was an
wasn't
evil bitch.
telling the people she wasn't telling people what they needed to know. So
She tried to make her
I
daughter. Her daughter moved on with her life. Her daughter wanted to be human. Her daughter even met a human man to start over. She didn't want all that drama that her
and
mom.
grandma, she did not like it. She was
Yeah,
like, hell no, we don't go.
she didn't want all that drama from her mom. She wanted to start a new life in the suburbs with her rich white man. You feel me? In the immortal
Hmm.
world. But no, fucking Agatha, what's her name? Agatha?
Hmm.
Aggie. God damn it. She wanted her daughter to be stuck in the slums like her. In that old ass house where stuff kept getting lost, doing these rundown spells. Why do you
Yep.
think Calabar wanted to attack her so bad? Like, come on. Yeah, she might have been most powerful witch or whatever, but at the end of the day, girl, sit down. You old.
Calabar, I don't see. I also just thought Calabar was just like, I thought it was more so he wanted old girl didn't want him.
Hmm.
So
So, okay,
I,
question. So, do you think if he would have, what if she would have gave in? How you think it would have turned out? If she would have been like, okay,
I,
you know what?
I
Let's
think,
rule Halloween Town together.
I think he would have. Yeah, he would have told her like, let's do it together. I don't think he would have gave up. I think he would have just
But
tried to.
do you think he would have still been evil trying to, do all the shit he was doing? Taking
I
up her
think he
mama
would have.
and kill her
I
mom?
think he would have asked. Um, I think he would have still tried, if I'm being honest.
Hmm. And that goes back to my original statement. Like the mama the problem.
Wow.
Because like, no, she is the problem. I don't care, she's the problem. She did it. Because like Marnie did not even know she was a witch until her grandma came in her life, telling her all this shit, selling her all these drinks, buying her brooms and stuff. Like,
Marnie needed to know that.
but go ahead.
I think that was needed. Like that's her life. She should have been told that no need to keep that a secret from him. Like, wouldn't you be mad if your parents didn't tell you that?
But you would have never knew.
I
She
feel
was
like at
fine
some
until
point,
she was fine. She was doing nothing that told her she was a witch.
she would have figured out that she had witch powers. You can't tell me
Yeah, but
that.
then at the
You don't
point, then
think.
you'd be like, yeah, eventually. But she was half human still. She had a chance to make it in the world.
But being a witch
You
is
know,
better. What are you talking about? What you
how was being a witch better? How was being a witch better?
you have,
And
you have
they
magical
were against
powers.
humans and stuff. She couldn't use them in the
I
real
mean,
world like that.
with her being half, she could have used them to her advantage. She could have used them secretively.
But maybe you got a point with that.
Just like Harry Potter, bitch. Like you just gotta, you can use it, just don't get caught.
Who wants to go around with that? Who wants to go around with powers that you can't use?
You can use them, just don't get caught. What?
That's too much work. That's honestly too much work. It's too
How?
much work to do.
No, to keep your powers.
Okay,
Did you
so
not
what?
watch
So
Charmed?
everybody in high school gonna have their cars, and this bitch pull up on a broom.
No, she can make her own car. Whoopie doo, wish that bitch to life like your powers. Can you imagine never having to go get your tire fixed? You could just flick a wand or some shit and your car fixed. You can flick a wand or some shit and your car and a new paint job. Fuck the
But
car. I can zip.
she never
I
asked
can
for it. Is
I
the
can
thing that
zip
I'm saying.
zoom,
She never asked to be a witch. She never knew she was a
girl.
witch. It didn't happen until then. Until
And girl, no,
Aggie
no,
brought
that's
her
no,
in.
no. He didn't ask for it, but that's how she was born. She was born a witch. You can't run from what you're born to be.
She was born
Look at
half
you.
witch, half human.
And I was
She was
born.
not born a witch.
I was born full man and full gay, and I'm doing perfectly fine. I ain't asked for it, but here
I
I
am
am.
fucking screaming. I'm screaming.
But I get what you're saying. Though. Grandma Agatha did bring all the drama, and
She was just the problem for me. Like
and
she was the
also my
problem for
thing
me.
is, like, can you just
Go
move
ahead.
out of Halloween Town? Can you just move out of Halloween Town to a different magical town? Like, because I forget because it wasn't really clear in this movie either. If Halloween Town is just the complete magical world, like is the whole world called Halloween Town, or is it just
Well,
like
no, it
that
was no,
town?
no, 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 because it was a door that separated the mortal world from the human world. So I guess it was just two
So
worlds.
okay, so like Abaca, she could have left. The Calabar could have had Halloween
Yeah,
Town. Bitch, move somewhere
yeah,
else.
yeah, basically, because it was kind of like a what is it called? Like a multiverse.
Okay, yeah, so she
Like it
could have
was
just
doing.
moved
So
out.
Halloween Town was technically like a multiverse.
Okay, so she could have moved and she'd have been fine.
That bitch could have moved anytime she wanted to. She moved in the second
Hmm.
movie.
But that wasn't really her choice, from what I remember in the
It was
second
her
movie.
choice. She wanted to be with her grandkids. Her grandkid, the mama wasn't letting her kids move to Halloween Town with Agatha. So that bitch had to move there. She had to
Oh yeah,
pick
that's
what she
right.
wanted to do.
Okay, I remember.
But what I'm
So,
confused about is where the fuck is they daddy at?
wait, was that ever explained? Did he die? 'Cause I don't
No.
remember.
Where was the father? Your father, it never
Was
said he died. It never said he
I?
was killed. It never
I
said
think
anything. It just said her dad was a human. But what happened to him?
I think it's one of those things where the kids aren't. They don't want to tell the kids directly, but the adults are supposed to be like, "Okay, Daddy's dead." I think.
So do you think
We
Calabar?
never
Do you think
seen it.
Calabar killed him? You think
No, I
Calabar
think
killed him, or was Calabar their father? Hmm.
no, Calabar not their daddy because that would make the second movie weird. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, she was gonna.
It,
Yeah, never mind.
yeah,
Incest.
and then I just think he like died. I don't really think. I think he just died because they
Hmm.
don't they don't
They should
even
have explained that, like
say.
fucking, like in Bambi, they fucking killed her. They shot her mama.
Okay, I'm looking it up now. It says that the Gwendolyn Gwen Piper, the overprotective mother of Marnie, Dylan, and Sophie, and the wife of her late mortal husband William. So
Oh, so he was
yes,
just old. He died. I think
yes.
maybe Calabar killed them or had them killed. I'm just saying. It never
No,
was
I think
explained how.
I think he
Calabar
just
set all that
died.
up. Calabar set all that. It never said how long the husband been dead either. Maybe Calabar set all that up.
Not
You
you,
know,
not the conspiracy theory.
I'm just saying. Maybe Calabar set that up for the husband to die so he can be with her. You never know. Maybe he
We need
did.
a
Maybe he did. I don't
we need
know.
a we need a fifth movie to explain.
They're not gonna use the original Marnie, so no point.
I mean, she been asking, so I hope they do.
Let's do that. I'm gonna start a hashtag on Twitter.
So
Hashtag
let's
bring back
let's
real
talk
Marnie.
about let's talk about let's talk about the characters in this movie now.
Okay.
we already talked about grandma, so we can just take her off the list. But
Yes. Tell me.
let's talk about the siblings, Dylan and Sophie.
Let's get into
I had
Dylan. Dylan was a weirdo who had
he
powers.
was
Who in the first movie I thought was a queer.
jury's still
I
out.
thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, but I thought he was a queer secretly. But no, because in the other movie he liked that girl. But
Didn't
yeah, I
we
thought he
all?
was secretly queer.
That's how
Yeah,
they
true.
started.
And he had powers and he did not want. He just was. He was such a fucking snitch.
In the first movie, he was given like, I don't want this. Why are we doing this? I don't want the I'm
Yeah, and
normal.
then
Like
at the end of the movie, your fingers are tingling with glitter. So please,
and
you
then
got this
and
shit.
then
You're born into this.
and then he tried to play it off. Like, sir, don't do that.
You're born. You're born into this too, dude. Poor
And then
little
Sophie,
Sophie, she just didn't know. She didn't know what was going on. She just wanted to follow behind Martin.
I feel like we from this movie and from the next three, I feel like we don't really get enough of Sophie. And I think that's
No,
like bad. I feel
yeah,
like I want to more know more about Sophie. I think we
yeah.
needed
Because
that.
even in the second movie, they gave us a little more intel on Dylan. Like he had more of a role.
Hmm.
Well, kind of in the first one too, because you know how she forgot the spell. Marnie forgot the spell. Sophie was the one that remembered the spell. Marnie forgot it. So Sophie played a big
Yeah,
part, but that was literally at the end of the movie. So she wasn't the highest paid, but she had
not
a
the
big
highest.
role. She wasn't like I feel like
The highest
Dylan
paid.
and Marnie was like the highest paid. Well, no, were like the highest paid kids, of course. But Dylan didn't really. He didn't get more into himself until the second movie. The first movie we didn't really see much about him either. So yeah.
Yeah,
It should have just
yeah,
been
I
called
get that.
Marnie. It should never been. She could have been. It could have been her mama, and Aggie. It didn't even have to have no siblings.
Honestly, they didn't need the siblings because we really didn't even get to see.
They
They
didn't.
didn't
Like
get
they
to
just
see
threw them
them.
in there. They just threw them in there for like no reason. They just threw them in there
But yeah,
just to say, okay, we got more characters. I don't even think they got paid. Benny had more. Benny had more lines than Sophie did.
okay, I love Benny, and I feel
She
like I
did.
needed a whole story too. I feel like we needed more Benny.
I need literally like
Blue,
give me a Benny spinoff. I will watch that.
like the
I
little
would love to know
taxi
about his
cabs
past life
they
as
used
a
to
cab
have.
driver.
Same.
Yeah, I would love to know. Like, what do you think Benny is doing now? He's not dead. He probably driving Uber. You know, what is Benny
Yeah,
doing nowadays? Is he
he
driving
he left the
Uber? Is
taxi
he a Lyft
service.
driver?
He left the taxi service. He Ubering now.
Yeah, he doing Uber. It makes way more money.
Let's
he
talk
he left
about.
when they did the taxi strike.
I can't. Let's talk about Luke. Luke just thought he was too cool. The hair was sending
Luke was
me.
fine when he was a human,
He was. He
but when he
was.
turned back to that warlock, I'm like,
You
why
know,
you traded your soul in?
if he would have slid in my DMs as a human
Oh
and we had
God.
been talking, if we'd been talking for a while and the getting was good, I would have let the other side pass. I would have been like, you know
The
what? I can
other
look past
side, you would have let. What do you mean you would have let the other side pass?
it. I mean, if he, like, I would have been like, you know what? I don't mind. We already together. You can walk around like this when I'm not at home. Type shit. What are your thoughts on Luke?
You can walk around like this when I'm not at home. Yeah, just take your mask off when I'm not here.
Yes,
It's
please.
sick. Oh God, it's so sick. That is so sick. Oh my God, who else was like a most like an important character in Halloween Town? I'm trying to see.
I-
Well, we went through Marnie, we did Aggie, we went through the
yes.
siblings, we did Luke,
Well,
we
there's
went.
always
We kind of
Calabar.
touched on Calabar, but Calabar is just like I don't know. Calabar was a weirdo. I don't know. You did all this because basically you was mad because this lady didn't want you and she left Halloween Town. So
She
you
left
kill her
years
husband
ago.
to bring
I
you
know
kill her husband to bring her back.
the husband thing's we don't know that.
He killed her husband to bring her back so
Oh
he
my
can be with her. And he told her, "Look, either we're gonna be together, or I'm gonna kill your mama."
wow.
Cause when he met the kid, he was like, "Oh my God, you her kids? I didn't know she had kids." His heart was broke, and he had a son too. That he wasn't trying to keep away from the world; he was just keeping the world away from his son. But still, it was just crazy, you know. And how you mad at her for having 3 kids, and in the second movie, your son just popped up.
I
I'm
do.
just saying.
I don't. I feel like Calabar could have been a bigger evil. I feel like if he would have, I don't know. I feel like he should have done more because I was like, he really did nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like my original statement was, remember I said I thought the movie would be darker. Because I
Hmm.
remember in the trailer, it literally showed the part of the end of the movie when he was going into like whatever universe he was going to at the end when they like cast a spell on him. I was expecting him to be like this demonic demon that just came out and just did unnecessary shit. He was not as dark as I expected him to be. The darkest thing this man had is when he turned Gwen and Aggie into like statues in the movie theater.
Hmm.
That is the darkest part. That was the scariest part of the movie for me. And I think the rest of it, I was kind of laughing, like, okay, this is kind of funny. I can get with this. This is a good movie. But it wasn't
Yeah,
scary until, and that moment happened the last 30 minutes of the movie.
hmm I do feel like he could have done more. We needed more, honestly.
Yeah,
Like, cause
I feel like if we
why is
got a
every
little
why is
more
everyone
darkness
afraid of
from him,
Calabar?
yeah, like give us. And you know what killed me? And this is gonna touch on the second movie a little bit. It said Calabar's Revenge. I was expecting to see him. This nigga didn't pop up. I didn't know he was gonna have no fun.
True.
They said Calabar's Revenge. I'm looking for Calabar. I'm like, oh, he done came back. This one finna be real good. It's gonna be really scary. Bullshit. Bullshit. But
Facts.
back to the first movie, he was fine. But that just goes to show you that you can't trust no man because even though they fine, they'll still do you dirty.
Facts to that.
Because he did all he did
100%.
all that. He did all that because Gwen didn't want to be with him. Like if you literally think about it, he did all that because of her. I take back my statement. Can I recant? I recant my statement. It's not. It's not Aggie. Gwen is the problem.
I've been trying to tell
She was the problem.
you.
All this happened because of her.
I've been literally trying
All
to
this
tell
happened
you
because
that.
of her. Oh.
I've been trying to tell you that.
Oh. Well, look. Sometimes you got to bring it back around. Goddamn it.
But I agree.
Seriously,
I
like
just felt like
no, she was the problem. Let me explain why. Okay, I got 3 points, and then I'm done. One, Marnie, she should never lie to Marnie. I guess I
hmm
agree with you on that. She should never lie to Marnie because if Marnie would have knew, it wouldn't have been a problem. Two, she should never have resented her mom for trying to help her understand more about who she was as a person. Because if you go all the way to the last movie, you will understand more about who Aggie was as a witch, as the queen, as the whatever she was in the last movie in her previous life. And three, she should have raised some motherfucking kids better. Because ain't no way in hell my kids finna leave in the middle of the night on a bus to go
facts
chase
to
my
that.
mama in an unknown town that I know nothing about. All they know is the grandma showed them a book of a picture of a pumpkin. That was it. She said, "This is our downtown." She never said nothing about Halloweentown. She just said, "This is where I'm from. This is it." They didn't even know if it was a real place. It could have been an imagination, a figment of her imagination. She should have told them what it was as kids. But she didn't do that. She
Hmm
lied. So her
Like,
lying caused
like at
all of this
least
drama.
prepare them.
Yeah, like at least let them know, like, okay, look, y'all dad was a human. I'm a witch. This happens to be. Y'all life gonna be hard because y'all might be experiencing some shit that's abnormal from other kids. When you play sports, you might kick your leg up and you fly. You never know. It's her fault. I blame her. You know what? I blame her. She the problem. God damn it, Gwen. God damn it, Gwen. It's her. She the problem. She's the problem the whole time, huh? Mm. I don't even blame Calabar. It's not even Calabar's fault. It's her fault. She did this. She
Is
is the
why
problem. And Gwen and look, and Aggie was the victim. That's crazy. I was like kind of on Aggie's side, but I mean I was
you
on Gwen's side
completely
all this time
yes, you were. You just completely flipped. Which is insane.
because I
Like
had to listen. I had to actually listen to what you were saying, and it made sense. Like, goddamn, Gwen was the problem.
yes, only
She was literally the
because
reason why this shit happened.
I only say that because like if they would have known, like they wouldn't have done anything crazy if they would have known. Like
Yeah,
they're only doing this because they didn't know. So it's
yeah,
like, what are you supposed like? Like, wouldn't you be curious?
yeah.
Because
You got a point. It's her fault. It's her fault. She did it. She did it. Gwen did all that shit. She what? She damaged her kids.
hmm
She yep. She damaged her kids. And Dylan is a little sissy that's just running around. Yeah, she damaged them.
yeah,
He was a mama's boy. He was a mama's boy. He didn't even want to leave. Remember? Like he didn't even want to leave. Like grandma's in trouble. Let's go help grandma. No, she'd be okay. Basically, like, damn, how's
yeah,
she gonna be in
that
the
part,
house? She needs.
right? Right. Go help,
What
Grandpa.
do you mean? She's in
That
the
part.
house. You just gonna let our grandma die. Like you just gonna let our grandma die for real. That's what we give. That's what it's given.
He was like, "That's
But
my
yeah,
problem," which was petty. He definitely to be there.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna do my names and behind the scenes on this one. I'm Elion. Alrighty, so for behind the scenes, the budget was $4 million. Actually, it's very unknown with the box office. Some interesting facts are the franchise went on to spawn 3 sequels spanning from 2001 through 2006, and 3 short films, with the last of the 3 coming out in 2020. In October 2017, producer Sherry Singer expressed interest in doing a 5th film, but would need Disney to sign off. Actress Kimberly J. Brown had previously expressed an interest in reprising her role as Marnie Piper, should a 5th film ever be materialized. The initial ending of the film featured Marnie traveling deep into an enchanted forest to place the talisman. With each step, the character was supposed to grow older the deeper into the forest she went. The makeup department took a life mask of Kimberly J. Brown to make a different prosthetic to age Marnie. Before the makeup process was completed, the ending was rewritten, with Marnie placing the talisman in the jack-o'-lantern. D23 celebrated the 25th anniversary in Halloweentown with special screenings in St. Helens, Oregon, on October 21st of 2023. This allowed fans to watch the film on the big screen in the theater where it was filmed just before the original premiere. Critics' reaction. So we have an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Variety stated, Halloweentown gains momentum after a slow start, largely due to the presence of a screen legend Debbie Reynolds. They noted that although the film does not fully showcase Reynolds' acting skills, the actress manages to embrace her role as a matriarchal witch. The Daily Beast stated that Halloweentown features strong performances, citing Kimberly J. Brown and Debbie Reynolds, saying they brought a unique charm to the film. Complex Magazine ranked Halloweentown as number 9 on the 40 best Disney Channel original movies list.
Well, I think we can shoot off to the end where I ask my favorite question: Do we
go for it.
cash or pass this movie? Now, for you, since it's your first time, I'll explain it. When we do cash or pass, cash is that we recommend this movie, we approve this movie, it's a good movie. We would pay money to see it in theaters. We would tell other people that they should go see it in theaters. Pass is a pass.
Mhm.
Like, don't watch, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, don't do it. So, do you cash or pass?
I would definitely cash on this film just because, like, again, the nostalgia of it. But it's just really nice to, go back into your childhood and just, like, relive, like, the beautiful memories. And it's still a good movie to watch over and over again. Like, I'm actually going to go watch the rest of, like, the Halloweentown films just because I'm like, you know what? I want to go back and remember it.
I'm going to cash. Because it was a really good movie. You just have to pay attention to it and analyze it a lot more than you think you would have to, because you would be on, like me. I completely switched my, the sides that I was on, because at first you got to think about it like, okay, Aggie came in and ruined everything in these people's lives. But when you sit down and actually analyze it, you see she wasn't doing anything but trying to help. So it's a pretty good movie. It told a pretty good story. The characters were pretty relevant enough. It had a good, they had a good casting. So I would definitely probably cash it. I wouldn't pass it because it's not like trash, but I would, yeah, it's a good movie. So, cha-ching.
Or for me, I would also say I cash. This is a good movie. I loved it from childhood. I loved it now. I thought going back it was going to be, you know how when you get older and you watch movies, it doesn't hit the same. So I was kind of afraid it
Yeah,
was going to do that. But this one was good. It still hit. And I enjoyed it still. So,
yeah.
well, thank you so much for joining us. Next week, guys, we will be reviewing my pick, which is Don't Look Under the Bed. I have only seen that movie about once or twice because it freaked me out as a kid and I swore I would never watch it again. But here I am about to watch it again, and I will tell you guys all about it next week. Until then, good night.
Good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonhorror Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonhorror Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonhorror Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a Letter to Media production.
Should we do an intro?